Hi everyone, this is an instructional video that will provide a description and a model of 7 of the main components of presenting a speech to an audience. We have chosen to focus on 7 presentation aspects of public speaking only because public speaking has many pieces to it and as opposed to focusing on the written aspects of public speaking. Thus, we have decided to focusing on the following 7 aspects of public speaking. We are focused on eye contact, body language, how clearly you speak, your volume, your pace, your tone of voice, and the time frame of your speech. I'll begin by providing a verbal description of each skill that will then be followed by a mini video clip modeling how to correctly perform the behavior or skill that was just described. Each clip used will take pieces from a real speech written for this assignment, and this speech has also been provided to you in the instructions as a secondary model. Lastly, at the end of the video, I will be providing further instructions on how you will be preparing your own small paragraph to practice and then rehearse in small training groups of 7 people. Let's get started with the first main component of public speaking, which is having good posture. Now, this may seem like a silly little thing, but having good posture is very important, as how you present yourself to an audience when presenting a speech is a very important aspect. So, to begin, ensure you maintain a good upright posture, whether you are sitting down or standing up, and remember, do not slouch. This also helps to ensure and make you look more confident when presenting a speech. Secondly, adding nonverbal body language into your presentation can help to make it more interesting to watch. You can add in facial expressions or hand gestures to emphasize important points you want to stand out. But be careful when using nonverbal body language, as it can be overused, and then it can become a distraction. In this next clip, you will see an example of nonverbal body language being used correctly while saying a piece of a speech. I began to play sports when I was just 4 years old, and played sports professionally until I was 18. I had many great achievements come from sports, such as winning Olympic medals and playing for Team Ontario. And these are some of the pros of my sports career. Yet, with a great sports career, there are countless cons, such as numerous broken bones, torn ligaments, pulled muscles, and worst of all, more than 5 traumatic brain injuries, or better known as concussions. They're not fun. The next point, being the third point, is to ensure you speak clearly, articulate your words, and avoid stuttering as much as possible. Additionally, I want to emphasize that it is important to keep up a good pace when presenting a speech, meaning you are not speaking too slow or too fast throughout the whole speech. As well, be careful that you don't drastically change your pace halfway through the speech. In this clip, you will see an example of how to correctly maintain a good pace and speak clearly while presenting a speech. I decided to take my passion for sports and put it into my academics. The concussions I suffered have made me want to study individuals who have suffered traumatic brain injuries like me. I want to try to find out more answers about what concussions really do to our brains, to hopefully be able to help people one day, and to be able to provide people with empirical answers to issues caused by traumatic brain injuries. Without having suffered concussions, I wouldn't have the same drive or passion that I do now. So just like I said, the world isn't all sugar and spice. The fifth point is to speak at an appropriate volume, meaning you are not shouting but not talking so quietly you can't be heard, or you can only be heard by a few people. Now, since we are online, it's important to have a good working microphone that you can use, and this will be required for our group training. The sixth point is to always time yourself saying your speech out loud before you say it in front of an audience, and to do this multiple times. Do this in front of a mirror so you can practice your facial expressions and nonverbal body language. This will help you see what you look like and will also help you find points where you can emphasize and even add in more nonverbal body language or facial expressions to help keep your speech interesting and engaging to the audience. Lastly, the most important point in my mind is to try to maintain regular eye contact with your audience, as I have tried to do throughout this video. We don't expect you to memorize the speech word for word, but you should be able to clearly and fluently say what you have written with only occasional glances at your notes. This helps ensure your audience is engaged, and it also helps keeps them engaged in what you are saying. Now, to have everybody practice what we just talked about and what you just learned, we are going to have each of you write up a 1.5 to 2 minute long speech on any topic of your choice, but it must be school appropriate. You are then to practice this speech and come prepared to rehearse it in your smaller groups of 7. We have emailed an instruction sheet along with a rubric that we will be using for marking that will help guide you. Remember, we are more focused on the presentation of your speech rather than the speech itself, so don't overthink your speech and spend your time practicing and delivering your speech rather than working on the written components. Lastly, everyone will be required to have their camera on, be dressed appropriately, and have a working microphone while they are rehearsing the speech they have created during their rehearsal training sessions. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you guys learned a thing or two about public speaking.